you were directly affected as much as anyone else in this. So SmackDown debuts August 1999 and almost immediately attracts the attention of L. Brent Bozell and the PTC, because WWF is now on network television and is the parent television council, I believe. They now started focusing in on network TV shows that had too much what they considered not safe for kids content, essentially. Did you have any run-ins from like religious groups or conservative groups for your Val Venis character before SmackDown debuted? Were anyone trying to pick at you or anything like that?
No, I never had any issues with that myself personally. I do remember getting to the arena a few times, and some of the staff at the WWE would come up and say, "Hey, did you know that they're picketing on the corner of the building?" I guess, people would come out there. But it was always a small group of people. It was maybe like 20, 30 people, holding signs up and saying, "Oh, this is immoral," and all that stuff. But I never saw them. I just heard that there was a few times at a few of the arenas that they were picketing. I think more their power to get advertisers to pull from WWE was basically relegated to, and I shouldn't say relegated because it was a much more powerful platform, but to network news. Fox News was one of them. CNN, MSNBC, all those big news networks were hosting that. What was his name? Brazil?
L. Brent Bozell.
Yeah, Brent Brazil. That was him. Yeah, PTC leader, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And yeah, he was all over the network news at the time. And I remember Vince being concerned about it because they were putting pressure on advertisers. And if I remember correctly, they had, I think it was Coca-Cola, pull out of advertising on WWE programming. And we walked into the arena the following week, and instead of having Diet Cokes in the coolers, it was all like Diet Pepsis. Yeah. A little bit different there.
When did you realize that you were sort of getting in the crosshairs, along with The Godfather, let's say, as well? Or then there's like Mark Henry was doing some stuff where he was saying he was sleeping with his sister or something crazy. But when did you start realizing that this might affect your character?
I think once I found out that advertisers are being pressured by the PTC, it's all about the value that you're creating and what you're going to tokenize that value into. And if Coca-Cola is saying we don't want to be associated with that kind of value, then you start thinking, okay, if money is pulling out of the product, that can't be a good thing for anybody. You know what I mean? And I know Vince was concerned about it because he had talked to me about it. He literally sat me down and said, these guys this is when he was first introducing the RTC, idea to me to join the RTC. He goes, these guys have caused us a lot of problems. They've had Coca-Cola pull out some of our advertisers. So we'd like you to, go in there. And he's basically mocking the PTC with the RTC. Mm. And so I understood that, some of what he created the RTC for was to mock his enemy, somebody that he considered his enemy, which was the PTC at the time. And so I understood that this was more of a defense mechanism, I guess, creating the RTC as part of the show in order to mock something that's really happening in real life. And that's that PTC going after our advertisers. And I think it did well. I think the way he mocked them was pretty good. It seemed effective because it seemed like once we really got on TV and they were pushing the censorship that we were trying to push on our own show, it kind of took the steam away from the PTC. And eventually they just kind of faded away. They stopped getting interviews on Fox News, for example, and CNN. And it just seemed like they kind of faded away as we made more and more fun of them.